Hey there, gorgeous gays. Version 2 here. Looks bad, but ignore it. I'm making a really quick video. I wanted to give you all an update on the vote that we put up of the way too many options and what was the winners and stuff like that. I said I was going to leave the vote up until Kana finished, but no one's voted on it for about a week, which makes sense. It's been up for a few weeks now, and I'm going to be starting a game this week based on the vote. You'll notice my wording there is very weird and particular. But let me explain the results and what the plan is with the results. I found this actually a really fun process, by the way. I just want to say that. I'm probably gonna do like people can vote on what I should play for a lot of things in the future and do it in this segmented point thing. It's really cool to see just what people vote for and how they vote for, or how just like tracking it over the days and just being like, oh, then it jumps up like this. Like it was a fun process to actually keep an eye on it and seeing what the results are. I'll be honest, part of it is exactly what I expected, and part of it is the polar opposite of what I expected, which is perfect and exactly what I like. So, without further delay, drum roll please. Let's go. Boom! There you are. To the surprise of literally no one, I predicted this. Everyone in my Discord predicted this. Anyone who watches and like the internet could have predicted this. The winner is Fire Emblem Three Houses. It got the most amount of votes in the 3-point and the 2-point categories, and anyone could have predicted this. Fun fact, I actually had a vote like several years ago of what game I should play next as one of my LPs at one point, and Fire Emblem Three Houses won that vote as well. Yeah, no, I didn't play it then because this was way back before. This was like several years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. At the time, it was I think because the vote was between like the Fire Emblem Three Houses and Link's Awakening and stuff like that, and it was as one of them came out, whichever one came out later, and there was something else on there as well. But yeah, Fire Emblem Three Houses won that vote, which I didn't do because after it won, people were telling me about how long the game is, which does tie into things that we're going to be discussing in a bit. Yeah, the game is really long, so I didn't do it then because this was back when I was putting up maybe what 3 to 4, 5, maybe 6 hours of content a week if it was like a big week. Whereas I do that in a day or two now, with how much more that I'm streaming. And the fact that I'm streaming means I can stream for, like, I can record way longer sessions now than I could before without getting tired, because I don't have to think of everything off the top of my mind. I've got a chat to speak to and everything like that, so it makes it a lot easier for me to do longer sessions. And also, I mean, it's my setup now with streaming is actually so much easier to record than it was before. So, more than happy to do Fire Emblem Three Houses now. If you've seen reacts in the past, the thing I was always worried about was just like, I loved Fire Emblem Awakening, but Fates I really didn't like. And it was showing off things that were kind of to be looking like Fates, but based on how positive the reception has been since it's come out, I think we're in a situation where it's not going to be Fates. So I'm more than happy to do that. You'll notice that the next winners on the list, for which what I said was I was going to do the top 3, and I was going to do them in order. The next two are Hollow Knight and 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. I expected Hollow Knight to win second as well. It's been something that out of the blue games, not sequels to anything that I've done or anything like that, or things that I've particularly mentioned, Hollow Knight has been by far the thing that people have recommended to me the most, based on just me talking about liking Souls games and me playing through the Metroid games, because people say it's like a Dark Souls and a Metroid game together. I don't know anything about it beyond that, but that's what people describe it as. It's like a Soulsvania, or Metroid. I don't know what the fucking category it is, but like that getting second, exactly what I expected. And then 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim came third, and that blew me out of the fucking water. Now don't get me wrong, I'm very, very happy that came third. I am dying to get to that game, though I know nothing about it, because everyone who likes the game just says this is an incredible game and there is nothing else that exists like this. You should play it. I'm not telling you anything about it. Like, all the people from the best friends, like people who I've been watching for years have said that. People that I personally know in life and on Twitter have been saying that. Obviously, the two big quotes that came out from both Masahiro Sakurai and Yoko Taro about how it's just, yeah, this is a once-in-a-lifetime game. Nothing else is going to exist like this, and it's phenomenal. I don't know how all of that is the case, but it's also a game that I hear very, very little about outside of those certain people praising it. I've seen like one person do it on YouTube, and that is one of the people who used to be best friends, Willy Versus. And I've not seen it ever mentioned outside of like these few select people. So the fact that my audience resonated enough with 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim to make it win third. That's amazing. In a very similar vein to what people say about 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, about how it's one of the best games of all time, you should play it, I'm not telling you a single thing about it, go into it knowing nothing, is Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, which is the fourth winner on this list. Which, I will also point out, it got the second highest amount of votes in any individual category. It didn't get many in 3 or 2 points, but holy fucking shit, it got 18 1 points. In fact, in terms of total number of votes, just in general, not without including the points, it's like roughly around 40 or so for each Hollow Knight, 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, and Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, and Fire Emblem Three Houses isn't much above 40. So if it didn't have that point system and it was just 1 point for each of your 3 votes, they would all be really close, actually. I mean, hell, you can already see how close some of them are there. So, with that, Fire Emblem Three Houses, fucking enormous game. Probably going to be the single individual biggest game that I've done on the channel. As someone who plays through every Yakuza game, that's terrifying. And Hollow Knight, from what people have said, it's either a short game or a really long game, depending on how much side content you do. Which I don't go into games saying I am or aren't going to do at this amount of content. I decide that based on the LP. Again, except for Yakuza, but I know Yakuza enough now to want to do every sub-story, so I know that I'm going to do that for that, that's because I like it. But everything else, I don't go, oh, I'm going to go into this 100%, or I'm just going to do the story. I play the games how I want to play the games, and that changes and develops as I play the game. So who the fuck knows how long Hollow Knight will be. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is also really fucking long. It took, again, Willie Vesters, who did an LP of it on YouTube. It's like 100 parts that are about 40 to 50 minutes each. So it's also a really fucking long game. And then Ghost Trick Phantom Detective is like 12 hours from what people were telling me on Discord. So I'm going to be a little bit sneaky here. Starting later this week, I'm going to be starting my LP of Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Because the game is so short, and it got so close, and the total number of votes is so close, and it being a relatively short game, I'm going to start the playthrough of that later this week. The current plan is I have like 4 different games that I want to have going on at any given time. We've got Yakuza 4, and that's just going to go until that's done, and then after that it'll just be Yakuza Dead Souls. Then we've got, well, at the moment it's like Kana and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. So the 4th one is going to become Ghost Trick, but the general plan going forward is there's going to be one Yakuza game, the vote game that people put on, so Ghost Trick, Three Houses, Hollow Knight, 13 Sentinels and stuff like that. One game that is of the, because I'm going to start Metal Gear at some point whenever my fucking HDCP bypass arrives, so I can actually record my PS3, and hopefully the PS3 works. And oh god, that's gonna be a nightmare. But doing because I want to go through all the games I've already started them, Kill the Past and Ace Attorney, but also Metal Gear and Professor Layton. So after I do Metal Gear, I'll do the first Professor Layton game, then we'll go back, do this next game, Kill the Past, next Ace Attorney, and we'll just follow that sequence there. And then the last one is just finishing up old playthroughs that I've done. So like Final Fantasy VII, Banjo-Kazooie, and Returnal, I think, are the main 3. I'm also going to be doing some Final Fantasy 14, but that's like a whole separate thing, so don't worry about that. But as the idea is, I'm going to be doing those 4 playthroughs at once. So the idea is I'm going to do Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. After I finish that, I'll do Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'm thinking, because Fire Emblem Three Houses is so long, and I know it's multiple routes, I'm thinking do one route Fire Emblem Three Houses, then Hollow Knight, one route, the next route of Three Houses, then 13 Sentinels, then one route of Three Houses, and then I'm probably going to go and just straight up do Disco Elysium after that, because it also got a pretty high amount of votes. And also, if I just secretly start Celeste at some point the next couple of months, even though it got lower on the votes and I haven't gotten around to the other things, don't be mad at me. That was the personal one that I wanted to win, because I just want to play a platformer, and it, from what people say, it's a really good platformer, and I love platformers, so I might just secretly start that at some point. Don't worry about it, don't pay attention to it. I know it only got 6th place in the votes, but just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It might happen, it might not, it probably will. So that's kind of my current plan of just what playthroughs I'll be doing in the future. So yeah, Yakuza 4, like in one game at a time, will be Yakuza 4, Dead Souls, Yakuza 5, etc. Then we'll have Ghost Trick, Three Houses, Hollow Knight, 13 Sentinels, Disco Elysium, with other routes of Three Houses probably mixed into there. Once I finish up all the old playthroughs that I've done of like Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I'm just doing on hard mode, Banjo-Kazooie, and Returnal, I'm probably just going to leave those I'm not going to replace it with anything there, just so I can do more videos for the other games. And then, yeah, Metal Gear, Professor Layton, Kill the Past, Ace Attorney, follow that loop over and over again. Because from my understanding, most of those games are relatively short. So that's like the long-term plan for the... That's probably going to take like the next year or two just to get through fucking... You're really, like, out of all the games on this list, you really did pick, by far, the absolute longest ones. Which I guess is just a testament to how much people like the games. But yeah, you really did choose, like, the longest games on the list, which is cool. Like, the ones that I personally wanted to win were Celeste, Hollow Knight, and Ghost Trick. Like, those were, like, if I had to vote, which... impartial, so no. But if I had to vote, those would be the three that I'd vote for. So, and then, like, Disco Elysium and 13 Sentinels would be right behind it. Fire Emblem Three Houses, like, didn't enter my mind, because I also just knew it would win. It was very, very obvious to me that it would win. And yeah, there's a couple others that still have like a few votes. Again, when I clear through all those things, I would like to just keep doing votes on what people want to see next. The ones that still are popular on here, like Elden Ring, Mystery Dungeon, or in the Blind Forest, I'll probably just kick those into the next vote. Medieval won't be returning. Sad Medieval noises. It got 0. I'll play that on my own. At least everything else got some points, but wow, sad Medieval. But yeah, on the topic of me doing the playthroughs that people want to do, if you're not interested in anything about what my upcoming videos are, feel free to leave. This is just, I'm gonna call this the yell at me about your honest criticism and feedback, because wow. Because, wow, I'm gonna show you a graph. I'm gonna do the YouTuber graph where I show you my subscribers, but it's different to most people, and it's about how bad it is. This ain't normal for any channel. You can see when I'm uploading content, I'm losing subscribers, and when I'm not putting up videos, I'm gaining them. That doesn't make sense. What the fuck? Obviously, if you've seen videos go up onto YouTube lately, you'll notice the format's changed. I'm now uploading full VODs. That I'm not changing, because that's just so much easier for me. But also, like, the thumbnails and titles and stuff are changed to be, like, slightly more clickbaity, because people don't click on other things, and stuff like that. I don't do any of this YouTube stuff to get big or to get famous or for it to even pay me. Any of that is a bonus at the side. I do this because I enjoy it. It's the only reason that I've been doing this shit for 13 years. I only do it because I like it. I know changes I could make that would be purely focused on growth. But one, the growth mindset is, capitalist. And two, it would take away from things that I enjoy about doing this. Like, I could focus on playing through less different games and putting up less overall videos and less playthroughs, but focus on doing the condensed cut down things, of just, I stream once or twice a week, and then I spend the rest of my time editing that stuff, and, like, going full on clickbait and stuff like that, or just appealing to getting new viewers to click into it. I could do all of that, and I'm not guaranteeing that it would work, but it would give me a way better chance of getting big. But that would take away so much enjoyment from me for it. Go back to that conversation I had in a different stream about the difference between extrinsic and intrinsic rewards, and how extrinsic rewards make me hate things, because I am even more susceptible to that than most people. But I will say, like, I can admit that I'm not in this to get growth, and that's, like, fine. I don't need to hyper focus on getting the channel bigger, but I can also, like, less views and less watch time. I'm putting up less videos right now, and I'm putting up really long things, and also a lot of the series that I'm putting up lately are not things that are popular. I'm aware of that. Like, I'm doing fucking Metroid Prime Hunters, a DS game. I'm doing Kana, something that I personally enjoy, but, like, it's nothing that any of my viewers have mentioned. Same with something like Deathloop, and things like that. And also, I'm not in the era where I'm still doing Kingdom Hearts and Danganronpa, like my biggest things ever, outside of Punch-Out, which I'm trying to do Punch-Out. I was going to do it over New Year's Day. I spent New Year's Day practicing Punch-Out, and I got like halfway through the day, and then I just thought to myself, this is not going well. Because I got to do Max Last Stand, I got to not die 3 times, and I was practicing, and, like... Even without getting to the last ones, I'm just like, I'm struggling to just do it. So it's going to have to be, I'm going to have to like sit down for a week and just have it be the only game that I play to get ready for a stream for it. Like, I want to do it. I really do. I've tried practicing so many times, and I'm just never at a point where I'm comfortable to actually do the video for it. But basically, like, I can be aware, sure, less views, like, I get it because of how much less stuff I'm putting up and things like that. And the views aren't down by like massive amounts. But if I'm losing this many subscribers, I'm doing something wrong. I'm doing things that people don't enjoy, or presenting things in ways that people don't want. Like, sure, I can put any of this down to the clickbaity stuff that I've been doing for that, which I thought would just be like, oh, it's easy to tell what's going on in that episode, or the emotional tone for that episode by seeing my face and stuff like that, which clearly is not how people are resonating. But I wasn't doing that over here, and it's still losing a lot of stuff. I mean, you can also see I was putting up 3 videos, 2 videos, 2 videos, like every single day, because I was cutting up streams into multiple sections. And that might have just been people on something because I was spamming their sub feeds. But basically, I just want to take this opportunity, because I don't really do this that much. Yell at me, like, constructive feedback, like anything that you think you want me to change about how I do things, whether it's the way that I talk, how I do content, how I upload it, any of the thumbnails or titles or descriptions, like, just anything. I mean, like, if any of it is, like, changes that I'd have to make that would take away from my enjoyment of how I do it, that's not going to be something that I do. But if there's just simple things that are just, like switches I can flick, or just ways that I can change things where it doesn't impact how much I enjoy it, I am more than happy to do that. I'm not in this to get big, but if I can enjoy it just as much and have more people enjoy it, or the people who enjoy it more, then I'm more happy to do that. So, like, yell at me about any feedback that you want. I think a part of it might be the fact that now I stream it, so all of my videos that go up are VODs. And the VODs definitely streaming definitely has a different tone compared to before I was streaming in terms of how I do the videos and stuff like that. It's a bit lower energy, it's a bit more chill. I'm obviously having conversations a lot more, and instead of just pure raw reactions. But I also do think the face game helps me focus on, like, selling the reactions to the bigger stuff even better. But I could also totally understand if it's a very different. Well, I tried to do it as much as I did it the way before, which I think I relatively stick to, but also I'm recording in a completely different fashion to how I used to. I get if people who just liked my raw LPs that I did before aren't a fan of a stream VOD of an LP. I get it, right? But I enjoy streaming more than I enjoyed LPing, so I'm not going to change that. But if there's something I can change about the way I do the LPs, or the way I approach the way I do commentary on that, or anything like that, then by all means, yell at me. Like, feel free. I feel like it's been a while since I've, like, actually had people just tell me, oh, these are the ways that you can improve, these are problems that I have with the channel and stuff like that. I feel like it's been a long time since I've, like, actually openly said that as, like, a call to action of that. So if there's any things that you're just like, I prefer this, or I think it'd be better if you did that and stuff, like, let me know. Because, again, I'm not in it to grow, but if I'm losing 40 subs in a single month while I'm putting up content, and it's when I'm not putting up content, that's the only, like, the very few times that I'm getting any traction in terms of, like, negating all of this, I'm doing something wrong, and I should try fixing it if I can. Because it means that people aren't enjoying it as much as they used to. And I'm more than happy to change that if it doesn't impact how much I personally enjoy it. So that's just a total side thing that I'll probably change around the thumbnail so my face isn't in them. Again, I thought that would set, like, an emotional tone of just like, oh, this video, like, I don't know this game, but it seems like that Fire's excited, so, like, I'm into that. Or it's just like, oh shit, this might be emotional, like, I'm into that and stuff like that. But apparently people don't like it, and I get it. But just yell at me any constructive feedback that you have and that you want to yell at me about, because I'm more than happy to listen to any constructive feedback. Whether I take it on or not is a case of, if I took on that constructive feedback, would it change how much I enjoy it? Like, if people ask me, I don't like how political you get, can you knock that off? Something like that I would respond with, no, because that's who I am as a person. You're not going to drive that out of me. Me holding that back would mean I would enjoy content less. And also, I don't think, like, I don't know, I don't have much of a platform, but if I have a platform, I'm going to try and use it when I can, and when the mood strikes me to try and at least impart some type of positive message. So, like, something like that, which I don't think that would be what's driving people away. Because if it didn't drive people away in the past, I don't know why it would now, because it was definitely way more in the past. Looks at Danganronpa. So yeah, I'm more than happy to listen to any of it all. Whether I take it on or not, it's just a case of, is it something that is just a change in how I present things and do things that doesn't take away from anything about how I enjoy it? Or is it a feedback that is asking me to change how I enjoy it, to cater to something? And that I'm not as willing to do. But what you may think isn't catering, I might think is. What you think isn't is catering, I might think isn't. So any feedback or constructive criticism or just mean comments that you have, feel free to shout them in the comments below. That's what we're here for. So yeah, I just want to give you an update on that, and also just invite a discussion, or whatever the fucking words is that they would use for this. I've always appreciated that I seem to have viewers who like enjoy the stuff that I do, despite how not geared towards popularity or typical YouTubing Let's Plays is. I've always been happy that there is people out there who can gel with that. But if even those people aren't gelling with it as much as they used to, then I'm more than happy to address that. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for Ghost Trick later this week. There'll be also, if you're wondering about my stream schedules, because I noticed people's like, holy shit, I didn't know you're streaming now, or stuff like that. Twitter and Discord, both I will upload schedules and when streams start on there. Also on the YouTube post, if you click the bell icon, I post the schedule if I remember, but at least when I start streaming, I do a community post for all those, and if you click the bell icon, you should get those. I stream at horrible times for the rest of the world. I'm just gonna quickly, because I work 6 days a week, and those 6 days I start at roughly the same time each day, and I'm gonna tell you what those times are. And half of my viewers are in the US. I'll also tell you on that. I start most days at 2 p.m. Australian, which is 3 a.m. in Universal Standard Time. Now, if you're in Pacific time, I don't know which coast of America that is. If you're in Pacific time, 2 p.m. for me is 7 p.m. for you. So I believe that would be the East Coast. And if you're on the West Coast, which I don't actually know the time zone there, or is that the West Coast that no, that is the West Coast. No, that is West Coast. No, 7 p.m. is Pacific time, which I think is West Coast. What's East Coast? I'm just Googling East Coast. This is just something I come off the top of my head that I should say. 10 p.m. If you're on the East Coast of America, it would be roughly 10 p.m. And if you're on the West Coast of America, it would be 7 p.m. That's most of the days during the week, and then on my one day off on my Sunday, so it would be other people's Saturday, I will normally start at 9 a.m., which would be like 5 p.m. and 2 p.m. For East Coast and West Coast. That might change at some point because I'm going off daylight savings times, but it's now off of that. That's roughly what I do, but also, if you want to know the schedule of what I'm doing when, or just want notifications of it, I should also put up the schedules on Twitch, but I keep forgetting to do that because I keep forgetting you can do that. But yeah, on platforms, Twitch, go to the Discord, click bell on YouTube, go onto the Twitch and see all of that. Because I notice people go like, oh shit, I didn't realize you were streaming. Like when new people join in, they're just like, shit, I didn't know you were streaming. I caught one. And then it's just like, oh, well, I'll let you know these ways and stuff like that. So just in case. So thank you all so much for watching. I will see you for Ghost Trick. That's in like a couple days from now. Again, I'm making the schedule after I do this. I'll probably have a shower first and then do that. So it's like 3 days from now. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, this is version 2, signing out. I was recording that. Sick.